Not long ago, Harry Hopkins and his wife Annabelle retired from their fast-paced careers to follow their dream. As owners of Brockwood Farm and Boarding Stable in Bloomington, Indiana, they soon found out that their new endeavor wasn't exactly what the doctor ordered. Not only did the daily job of cleaning stalls with a manure fork take lots of their time, but Harry and Annabelle both began to suffer from back and arm problems.
Is your arm bothering you? That's too bad.
This is the original stall shifter. This was developed as a result of the pain that I had from my bilateral epicondylitis, tennis elbow, most people call it. My arms were hurting so bad, I said, I can't do this the rest of my life the old way. So I developed and built this great-great-great-grandfather stall shifter out of spare parts I had laying around the farm. This is some old oak boards I had. This is an old reciprocal pump motor that I modified a little bit to drive this screen back and forth. A couple old bicycle wheels. Well, after I built it, it worked so good, I thought I had to improve on it and share it with the rest of the people in the horse world. This is a little bit about how it works. You shovel the manure onto the screen, and the manure goes off the end of the screen into the tub, and the sawdust falls down on the floor. Now you might wonder why we call it a stall shifter. Well, shifter is a telescoping word. It comes from two words. The second word is sifter. That's for what it does. The first word is the common name for manure, and that's for what it does it to. So it is the Brockwood Stall Shifter. So I guess we can move on now and show you what the real one looks like now that we've got it all finished and ready to market.
Let's move into one of our standard 10 by 12 stalls now and see how my wife Annabelle cleans it out. The first thing she's going to do is locate all the wet spots. Then she shovels the wet bedding into the manure tub. Once she has all of the wet bedding in the manure tub, she's going to clear a path and bring the shifter into the stall where she will begin work with it. Now that she has the path cleared, she's going to roll the shifter into the stall. It's easy to maneuver because it's well balanced and it's relatively lightweight. On the rear handle it only weighs 18 pounds, even though the whole unit weighs 85 pounds. The next thing Annabelle's going to do now is put the tub underneath the shifter and then turn the shifter on. Once the shifter's on, it's very straightforward. You simply use your grain shovel and begin shoveling the manure and bedding onto the shifter and let it do the work for you. Notice that she's using palms up labor with the shovel, not the palms down labor that causes that tennis elbow we talked about earlier. You can also notice that the sawdust bedding is falling through to the clean spot on the floor that she made in earlier steps, and all that manure is falling right off the back into the bucket. Very little bedding goes into the bucket. It takes about, just a little bit under 5 minutes to clean a normal 10 by 12 stall using this method. Before we started using the shifter, it took us 15 minutes. That's a 65% savings in labor alone. And that bedding that's fallen on the floor is clean. Cleaner than you're ever going to clean a stall any other way other than stripping it completely. Every piece of manure larger than a kernel of corn has been removed from it, and it's just as nice and fluffy as can be. We save approximately 50% of our cost in bedding because we only replace the wet bedding which we threw out. Now look at that bucket. Nothing but pure manure and wet bedding. And now Annabelle's going to go in and remove the shifter, roll it out of the stall. Again, notice how maneuverable it is and how easily she seems to be able to handle it. Then she'll go back in and spread the sawdust. Isn't that nice and fresh? And this is where we get our reduction in germs. Nice fresh sawdust. Good fly control now that we didn't used to have. That stall is clean. It's cleaner than you could get it unless you just completely stripped it and put new bedding in the whole thing.
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't do this without a stall shifter. The Brockwood Stall Shifter, because manure happens.